Hello, everybody, and welcome back. It looks like we have resolved the issue. We had Nimesh, our tech guy, onto it and sorting everything out, which is brilliant. The man is an absolute genius. He's a God saver, and I thank him for being in there to sort that out. It looks like it was a glitch at Facebook's end, but we're back up and running, and it's awesome to see everybody rolling in. And welcome to Coffee Catch-Ups on a very gloomy Wednesday here in Auckland. And I've got an absolute treat for you guys today. Somebody who is hugely inspirational. We're talking about an amazing client of ours who's gone on to become one of our team members. And it gives me a lot of joy in bringing on for you guys today, Justin, to this coffee catch-up. So Justin, are you there, my friend?
Hey, mate, how you doing? Thanks for having me on.
Brilliant, brilliant. Thanks for joining us. Now, it's really cool to catch up with Justin, and the story is quite awesome as well, because Justin's recently decided to go and head over to live in Australia. And the cool thing is we've actually had on the show this week, you're our third guest. Monday I had Tim, who's Australian living in Australia. Then on Tuesday I had Matt, who's an Australian living in New Zealand. Now I've got a New Zealander living in Australia. We're just mixing it up. So Justin is a student, gone through a client, done exceptional things, moved on to become mentor with with wealthmentor, which is really exciting. But Justin, do you want to give us a bit of a background as to your background and where you come from?
I started out, like most Kiwi kids coming out of school, not really sure what I wanted to do. So I finished school cert and decided I'd join the army to become a chef in 1991. So it doesn't seem like that long ago. But so I joined the army, I qualified as a chef, and then and decided I'd become an officer in the New Zealand Army, and went through my training, graduated as an engineer, and then spent the next 29 years, working in Army as an engineer officer, which was a huge privilege, and it gave me a whole lot of amazing experiences throughout that time. I saw a whole lot of the world. I saw hardship that most New Zealanders would never even understand, let alone be exposed to. And I also witnessed great things from Kiwi soldiers and officers that really did do their best to make the world a better place for people that are less fortunate than we are. And I got to see, pretty much most of the places that don't have postcards. So I don't know if people like that or not, but I also got to see some great places. Unfortunately, though, 29 years in defence, I spent 12 years apart from my then wife, and ultimately that ended up costing our relationship, which was pretty tough. No one, 22 years married, and then for that to come to an end. But basically, during that time, I had two amazing sons, Jacob and Ethan. Jacob turned 16 yesterday, which was amazing. Not great from a lockdown perspective in New South Wales. But I guess the reason why I'm telling you that, I realised that as much as I loved Army and I loved what I was doing, I had lost sight of what was truly important to me, and that was my family and my relationship. And a income necessary
Seems like we've got a
got
little.
me.
I'll just pause there for a second. Looks like Justin's internet's having a few issues, but I'll carry on Justin's story anyway for him because I kind of know it. It's a pretty awesome story. So Justin ended up leaving the military, and it was kind of around that time that he found the team at Wealth Mentor, went through some of our training, and has gone on to do exceptional things with his portfolio. There we go. It looks like you're back with us now, Justin. I was just telling people, you went on and did some Wealth Mentor training and moved on with your portfolio. In terms of your transition from going Army officer to property investor, what are some of the things that you had to go through, or you had to have mind shifts towards, or things that you changed for you as an individual going through that transition?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I might have to, I'll shift. So what we did is we got education on how to invest properly. And that was probably the key thing for us. On how to invest properly, and build a portfolio, and that was through Wealth Mentors, and that for us was absolutely life changing. We also, Caroline and I both got personal coaches, life coaches, and we did a heck of a lot of personal development, personal growth. We all like to think that we are the best version of ourselves, but the reality is every single one of us has got a lot of things that we can develop and improve to become the best version of ourselves. And what I discovered is my own ego was one of the greatest things that was stopping me from progressing. I was all about having the flash cars, the nice watches, $1,500 fountain pens, suits. I had all the trimmings, but I didn't have true wealth. And that was a big thing. And I had the RS3. I came along to the Property Live and then decided that whilst I loved that car, I'd prefer another property. So I sold the car, went and bought another positively cash flowing property, and now that generates me about 15 grand a year. So way more than the car was ever going to do. So I guess to cut a long story short there is, you've got to go out, get educated, and be really brutal with your own evaluation of your own performance and your personality, and realize where are your flaws, and then how can you become better to actually have the life you lead, life that you dream of leading. And part of that development was actually getting that crystal clarity around what did I want my future to look like. What was financial success for me, and what that is for me today is at the moment I'm a full-time dad, a full-time husband. I haven't worked for the last 4 months. Well, I haven't worked for a job. And now that for me is true wealth. I have time to spend with the people that I love. And that's, it is fantastic. Now that's all come down to what I've learned and then what I've applied over the last three and a half years. So it's pretty awesome, but it's come at a lot of deep soul searching and hard work. Like anything that's worthwhile doesn't come for free. And you really need to be prepared to do the work and take action. What I've also found is there's a lot of people that like the idea of building a property investment or investment portfolio, but when it comes time to actually do the work and take the action, they just don't want to do it. And my advice there is, take action, even if it's imperfect action. Just take action that's going to move you forward towards the goal that you want.
That's actually something that's across from a few of the speakers or the people I've had on the Coffee Catch-up over the last few months is take action and be willing to take that step. It doesn't always have to be perfect, but take that step to get going and getting into the portfolio, because things can eventuate. You're constantly learning, having the support of people around you, and networks is another one that always comes up. Surrounding yourself with the right people. One of the things that I know that you and Kaz are big on is, from a mental well-being, is your physical well-being. I don't know if you noticed this, Justin, but I'm looking a bit slimmer than pre-lockdown. I set myself some lockdown goals. One of them was to exercise every single day of lockdown, and I've kept it up. Freaking hurts, but I've kept it up. Dropped a few kgs. I set a new 100 burpee record yesterday, which I'm stoked about. I'm sure you could absolutely smash it. Give you context, my first one was about 12 and a half minutes. Yesterday I did 7 minutes, 55 seconds. So I'm pretty happy with that. Full CrossFit burpees as well, hands off the ground and in the air. But anyway, enough about me. Fitness for you, what does that have to do with you as a personal and growing as a person and the fullness that it gives you?
Oh, look, for Caroline and I, and me personally, fitness is massive. It is one of the best mental releases, refreshing activities that I can do. It keeps me sharp. It keeps my body fit and healthy. It's really good to get away and to move. I live by the phrase of, use it or lose it. If you don't keep moving, you're going to lose that mobility. And for Caroline and I, exercise, CrossFit is huge. But the other side of that, it's more of a holistic view of health. And for us, for me in particular, when my career in the military, I had something like 11 operations, 3 knee reconstructions, 2 shoulder reconstructions, thumbs, the works. I was living on painkillers. And what I've discovered through good fitness, good nutrition, contact care, chiropractic and other bits and pieces, I now live pain-free and drug-free. And that for me has been massive. Also, going through a divorce, some pretty hefty public scrutiny at times, that took it was a real burden on my mental health. And I found that working out every day really, helped me mentally as well. It kept my mental health up. So, fitness and health, wellness, nutrition, huge for us, and it all plays a big part in part of our lifestyle. Which again, it's about taking imperfect action. If you do one, congratulations with your burpees. It's that sort of thing. Stick to it every day. 12 minutes. Sure, it hurt, but now it's 7 minutes. In a week's time, it could be 5 minutes. You just got to keep chipping away and keep taking that action. And you'll have the great success.
And I think the other great thing is by taking it. One of the things that me and Karen were talking about last night is both of us have been quite onto the fitness this lockdown, and we both had multiple messages from people saying how they're inspired and now they've gotten onto that. And it's by helping yourself, you start to help those around you, which is powerful as well. You mentioned contact care. Now, this is something that I know that you guys are quite passionate about. It's a business that you've got set up over New South Wales. Can you give us quickly, a couple of minutes of breakdown as to what it's about and the importance of it?
Yeah, for sure. So contact care is the release of trapped bone pressure. And as I just mentioned, I was riddled with different injuries and had to take painkillers and the likes. And we were introduced to contact care, which it was actually developed in New Zealand. It's a style of martial art, which releases trapped bone pressure to enable the body to return to its natural function. So if you think of when you walk behind the back of the car and you bang your shin on the tow bar, that's a sort of example of trapped bone pressure that we'd go in and release. And then basically, when there's trapped bone pressure, muscles and tendons are drawn into a vortex, which then creates tension in other parts of the body. And if you can release that, it allows the bodies to return back to its natural state and to move through its natural range of movement. So there's a whole lot more to it. The key thing is it's really gentle, it's uninvasive, it needs no medication. And we have found that we've just found great results from it. Everything from releasing, migraine headaches to back pain to hip pain. It's amazing, and it's new, and it's pretty exciting to bring it to Yamba here in New South Wales, and we've set our little business up, and that's part of our vision and our goals is to help people live pain free. And that's part of our goals that for Caroline and I, and it ties into that holistic sort of health point of view.
It's brilliant. And in terms of Justin plans on a day-to-day basis, what do you guys get up to? What's your days look like? I know there's a nice new bub, which is obviously very exciting. But what's your day look like for Justin and Kaz?
Yeah, so at the moment, as you mentioned, we had Evie 6 months ago. So as full-time parents, it's amazing. Like, we wake up together, we go and train, and Evie's part of that. Like, Caroline's literally walking around the property at the moment. So we spend the morning, we have breakfast together, then we go and train. It's normally CrossFit. We're going down to the beach. Part of our goals is to connect with nature, and every day we walk down the beach. Then we look at the market, what properties are on, what aren't. Everything we do in our portfolio has been done remotely. So it's all been done over the internet, over the phone. So we continue to look for properties and buy deals literally over the internet. We're also looking at other education things. We're into alternative investments, crypto and that sort of thing. And again, there's so much education products out there that we draw on and invest in to become better versions of ourselves. And things are just going great guns at the moment. And then we're living with with Caroline's parents, so we've got additional family support which we hadn't had before. So now life is semi-retired is pretty exciting, and we also get a chance to hang out with friends, and I guess not just mentoring with wealth mentors, but a lot of friends just want to know, if they can learn from the mistakes I've made in the past and the things that I'm doing right now, then I'm more than happy to share, anything and everything of my experiences to help other people, achieve the success that Caroline and I have been very fortunate to achieve. Yeah,
and that's brilliant. And coming on, that gives the ability now to start to share your knowledge with other people. What does it mean to you? And I know that you do a lot of phone calls for Wealth Mentor. You do a lot of strategy calls with some of our students. What are some of the things that what's it like having that responsibility and that honor?
Oh, it's a real privilege. Look, the chance to help people achieve the same sort of, or to start building the type of financial freedom that Caroline and I have been able to achieve through our own, through our own education, but having that chance to be in contact with people that are like-minded, motivated to build their future is a real privilege. And it's something I feel like I've been given such a gift in the knowledge that I have, and the lifestyle that I now lead is something I've always dreamt of having, but I never thought I could. And then I've discovered through the education that it's actually right there if you just take a step towards it. You just need someone to hold your hand and lead you forward. So I love it, and I love interacting with people. And I could talk all day if you haven't picked up on that. And being able to share my experience and help other people grow is a real privilege. And I guess the side of that, from the education piece that I've had through Wealth Mentor, is I read every book that was written. Martin Hawes, Robert Kiyosaki, Peter Lynch, Warren Buffett, Grant Cardone, all of those books. I had a stack a mile high. I read them. They were great. I took no action. Yeah. When I became accountable to people that were helping me to grow and to learn, it was then that I took the action that I needed, and that's when the success started to flow. So what I try to do as a mentor and surrounding myself with successful people is I try to keep people accountable to the statements that they make. Because at the end of the day, I can't make anyone else rich or wealthy. They need to do their own work to reap the rewards of their own efforts. Yeah. So, and it's great. And when you see them buy their own properties, it's magic. It's very, very cool.
Absolutely. So you've touched on a lot about the self-development and growing as an individual. You've also touched on what wealth means to you. Can you go into a bit more detail? Because one of the things that I ask every guest, and I know, the transition that we've made with Wealth Mentor over the last year or so is all about making wealth accessible to all. What does wealth mean to you as an individual? It's not necessarily about, like you mentioned, the cars, the watches. Wealth is about what's important to you. For me, my family, playing golf, going fishing with my friends. Those things are the key elements to me. So what is it for you as Justin that really gets you up, and what is it that wealth really means to you?
So wealth for me is the ability to spend time with my family and friends, and to do the things that we enjoy doing. Now, I love, as you touched on, I love fitness. I love the fact that I can get up and train twice a day and feel fantastic, and I don't have to worry about where money's coming from. Caroline and I love going out to cafes and going out for dinner. Having the freedom to do those types of things and not be worried about where the money's going to come from. The other thing is time is mine. Like if I want to go and jump on a chainsaw on the farm here and chop down trees for the day, I can. If I had a mate ring me up, he's just bought a boat. We went out game fishing a couple of days ago. I don't have to worry about how I'm trading time anymore. So, for me, that's the big one is time and happiness. I wake up every day with my little girl and my big girl, and life is amazing. And it's, are we where we want to be yet? No, we're not. Are we filthy rich? To me, yes. I have an abundance, and I have an abundance mindset that, things happen because I make it happen now. So, I guess the other part of what does wealth look like? It's self-belief that I can have anything I want if I'm prepared to do the work to get what I want, and that's exactly what we've done. I've set goals and achieved them. And, the goals that I originally set, way back when we started was, if I could generate $5,000 a month in passive income, then that's all I'd ever need. I'd be a bit worried if I only had $5,000 a month now. So your goals keep evolving, and where we want to be is an ever moving feast. And we've turned around the situation with COVID now. Yes, we're in lockdown, and New Zealand was in lockdown, but at the moment it's an enforced savings regime, because when the borders open up, we're going to be traveling the world and doing all the cool things. And I'm taking my daughter with me, and hopefully taking my sons, and I'm going to teach them what I know now, so that they have this sort of freedom from the moment they leave school. And I guess that other piece of wealth is knowledge is wealth, and I'm able to pass that on to my family so that they can reap the same rewards, and I'll leave a legacy behind of generational wealth that my family and my family's family will never have to worry about money. And that for me is just, that is amazing. And I'm super excited to keep building that on a daily basis.
Awesome. That was awesome. Thank you, my friend, for sharing. That is truly inspirational. You're always an inspiration. I know that we are very blessed to have you a part of the Wealth Mentor family and team. You'll be joining us. We've got a masterclass coming up end of the month. You'll be joining us. I've actually got a summit this weekend. I thought I'd quickly drop that in there. I'm hosting, and I've got Paul and Chris Dodd. I mean, a couple of absolute legends joining me on the summit. There you go. You guys can see the Building Wealth Summit this Saturday. So if you guys haven't got your tickets yet, make sure you jump online and grab yourself a ticket. It is free, or you can buy a ticket, which gives the chance for us to donate some money to charity, which is something truly quite special as well as a part of the ticket. So check it out, the Building Wealth Summit. Justin, again, thank you so much for your time. The internet's gotten better and better. You're looking crisp now at the end of this session. You're looking sharp. You're looking crisp. Thanks very much for joining us. I'll give you 1 minute for some parting words for everybody out there.
Take imperfect action. Whatever you do, figure out what your vision is, set your goals, and just have a relentless pursuit towards achieving your goals, and don't let anyone stand in the way. People always tell you can't achieve something. They're just too scared to do it. So, just take action and get after it. And I guess the last thing, if you do the summit this weekend, if it's the first thing you do, sign up for the summit. Paul Southey is an absolute inspiration and is a man that I try to get myself around as much as I can. Him and Jeanette, the wealth that they have built is phenomenal. And when I have questions, Paul is the guy I pick up the phone and call. He is amazing, and he's only too happy to share his knowledge. So, first goal, attend the summit.
Love it. Thank you, my friend. You have an awesome day. Family, give Kaz a hug for me and say good day, and let me know your time on that 100 burpees, eh?
Done, mate.
All right. Have an awesome day. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. No problem at all.
See everybody.
We'll see you all tomorrow with another awesome guest. This guy is commentating for Sky Sports over the Olympics. That's a little hint for you there. See you tomorrow, guys. Have an awesome afternoon, and we'll see you tomorrow at midday.